Never underestimate our ability to hold a grudge. Did you know that I adopted a terrorist? 2 out of 2 people before Harley ended up with me had said they were going to put a bullet in her because she was so unruly that no one could handle her. And I mean no one. But I knew better. All she needed was some limitations and somebody to teach her that the way she was acting wasn't going to fly. And eventually, it came down to a knockdown, drag-out fight between me and the dog in this shop. And she thought she'd bested me. But I was bleeding from my hand and my arm. And I looked at her right in the middle of the shop and said, "Come on, bitch, we ain't done yet." And after she was finally bested, she started acting better. Because that had never happened to her before. She'd had it all her own way. And is she still a nut? Yup. But she's not the nut she was. Because she knows that shit ain't gonna fly with me. So why do I tell this story? Because it has a lot to do with what we're dealing with in this country these days. There's a lot of loudmouth bullies running around out there who are actually in the minority, trying to rule over the majority because they can bark louder and make more noise than most people are prepared to deal with. Well, if you want to spend your time looking the other way, or claiming righteousness for forgiveness for unacceptable behavior, I guess you deserve what you get in the end. But the aftermath of where all this is heading, I won't have to deal with, because I won't be here. Because sooner or later, when negative tips the scale and it becomes its own entity and a life of its own, Harley and I will be out there taking care of business. And more than likely, we won't have to deal with it. Because we'll both be dead, trying to defend something worth defending, as everyone else stands by and watches. I cannot believe how timid the people in this country have become. It borders on cowardice. Something I'm not willing to accept in my life. Nor, I'm quite sure, if Harley could put in her 2 cents, that she would either. So like I said at the beginning, never underestimate our ability to carry a grudge.